My dear friends, a very happy evening. So, welcome to this classes on EIS. So, EIS stands for Enterprise Information Systems. And I know very well that many of you already would have heard so many things about this subject, and you might be sitting over here. So, but let me say you keep all that baggage aside for next 40 to 50 hours of our class. Keep all that baggage aside and start listening with a fresh mind, as if you haven't heard anything about this subject from any of your friends. Because I know approximately out of the 450, 500 people who are attending this class, definitely most of you would have already listened about, feedback from your various friends. They would have told you so many things. This is the most toughest subject. If you are failing CA, that is only because of this particular subject. All these things you might have heard. But my request for next 40 hours, let us enjoy. Let us sit and enjoy. Please don't carry that baggage to this class, because with the baggage it is very very difficult to teach. But if you come without baggage, it becomes very very easy, very very simple. And please come with the open mind. That is what I would request all of you guys. Okay, so myself, I am Sri Harsha. I am a chartered accountant, unfortunately, but I am a huge technology enthusiast. So even today I work with the technology. So basically I used to be a functional consultant, like functional consultant in the sense I used to suggest to people on how to develop technologies and all. You will understand what is this role and how does this role work over a period of our subject. But now currently I am learning core development of technology. I started learning my Python, and I started learning certain project management techniques in software development industry. In fact, just for these classes, I took a break from there. Otherwise, I actually learn all those aspects. I am learning all those aspects to become a core technology person. Why technology? Why did you not? Sir, you're a CA, you're not an engineer. Then why are you so much interested about technology? Or why did you choose this particular subject? You could have chosen direct access, right? You could have chosen FR, financial reporting, right? You could have chosen indirect access, right? Why did you choose this technology? Or what is the need for this particular subject? So many questions in your mind. But let me start this class one by one. I'll get all those answers to you guys. And that too, you will get all these answers within the 15 to 20 minutes of introduction for the subject itself. Within this 15 to 20 minutes, I'll clear most of your doubts of this nature. Until then, please don't message. Let me start this particular class. I'm sharing my screen. Okay. Let me share my screen. Just give me a second. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. Okay, so my dear friends, actually, the understanding with which we are discussing this subject is like, I usually teach this subject for 50 hours, but now because of the time and because of the reduction in the syllabus for May 2020, May 2020 and November 2020, a little reduction of syllabus, we composed this particular class into 40 hours. And my objective in this 40 hours is like you have to read for 40 hours. You have to listen to my class for 40 hours, and then you have to read for 40 hours, and then you can expect 40 marks in EIS. So this is my assurance. See, I am saying you don't come with the baggage. Don't come with the understanding that EIS is a subject for just for passing. ESM is a subject which is very difficult to remember. Don't come with all those baggages. I'm saying you plan your preparation along with me. Plan your preparation along with me. How am I going? In the same approach, please go along with me. I'm going to give you hour-wise lecture and hour-wise plan for preparation. Even material is also designed in the same way. Hour-wise material will be provided. First hour, these are the 5 questions you need to cover. Second hour, these are the 5 questions you need to cover. Third hour, these are the 5 questions you need to cover. In that way, material is also divided in hour-wise. Maybe in certain sessions alone. For example, today's session, it will be little technical. There, class might extend for 1.5 hours, but your preparation will reduce to only 30 minutes. In that way, I'm saying you net on net basis, within 80 hours, 40 hours of class plus 40 hours of your preparation, you will be mastering EIS. Even when you start preparing for your exams, that is like, along with me, you will start preparing now. But apart from that, when you start preparing for your exams, just before your exams, like 1 month or 2 months before exams, during that point of time also, you can target for 40 days, 40 hours, every day 1 hour. So I'm saying you now itself, like accounts, like costing, like financial management, if you sit on this subject from the morning to the evening, it doesn't work out. I'm saying you will sleep, nothing else. You will sleep, that's it. It doesn't work out if you sit on the subject from the morning to the evening. You have to sit every day 1 hour. Every day 1 hour, not more than that. 1 hour should be productive, 1 hour should be effective, 1 hour should be efficient. So in that way, if you plan, I am assuring you within 40 days, within 40 hours, you will be able to master this particular subject. I am going to give you the confidence of achieving 40 marks in this subject. Please keep aside all the baggages and then start listening to this particular class. You'll have your material with you maybe next 7 to 8 days of time. I forwarded it to MT Educare just 2 to 3 days back. So maybe they might print it and then send it to you. In the meantime, if you want to access the material, like for example, now since we are attending the class, today itself, if you want to access the material, you can visit this blog, techieca.blogspot.com. At the end of the class, I'll give you exact blog address and all. During that time, you can note it down and you can start. See, for now, for next 15 minutes, it will just be an introduction. So my first question for all of you, why EIS for CA students? My first question, I know why I am studying accounting. I'm a chartered accountant. I know why I am studying accountancy. I know why I am studying auditing. I know why I am studying direct tax, because all those are the areas where I will be practicing in future. But why the hell am I reading this particular subject called EIS, which is completely related to computers? Why the hell am I studying it? So for this question alone, you can answer it in chat box. I'll just wait for your answers. You can answer it in your chat box. Let me see what answers are you giving. Technology is the future. We work in an automated environment. Why should we study EIS? Oh, what is EIS? EIS is Enterprise Information Systems. The subject for which we are connected is Enterprise Information Systems. This stands in paper 7 of IPCC. Paper 7 of IPCC has 2 parts to it. One is Enterprise Information Systems and the second one is Strategic Management. The first part is about EIS. Gives us an additional advantage. Digital India, everything has become virtual in this COVID. So many questions, so many answers. I'm very, I'm liking it very much. Thanks for letting me know so many things. You can keep messaging that way whenever I ask a question. Don't message irrelevant things and all. Only whenever I ask a question, you can keep messaging in that way. But there are so many reasons why we are reading this subject. But I have primarily identified 4 reasons. Why are we reading this particular subject? First reason, let me come to the first reason. First reason, 50 marks in IPCC exam. Everybody knows it. The main reason why are we reading this subject? To secure the 50 marks. And our target is very clear. We need to secure 40 marks out of those 50 marks. I told you, right? EIS is a separate topic. SM is a separate topic. I'll explain you. EIS stands for 50 marks in our exam. SM stands for 50 marks in our exam. Our target is going to be 40 marks. Though I will cover entire syllabus in the classroom, but still I'll explain you what are all the areas you need to focus for your exam. So I'm targeting for 40 marks. Even if you target for 50 marks, this class will be sufficient for you. Then second, future is going to be tech-enabled accounting and auditing. Even today, accounting is being done only with the help of technology, but future is going to be even more dependent on the technology. Like, automated accounting will come into the picture, where if I purchase something, I should just put the bill into the scanner. Automatically, scanner and computer together will pass the journal entry into the books of accounts. Today, except journal entry, rest of all the activities are already automated. Ledger is automated, trail balance is automated, financial statements preparation, cash flow, fund flow, all these statements are being automatically prepared. But in the near future, even journal entry will become automated. Today, we are all working upon the same thing, where automatically passing the journal entry into the system with the help of very advanced technologies like artificial intelligence and machine learning. So second, main reason why are we studying? Future is going to be digital. Future is going to be technology. That is the main reason why we're going to study this particular thing. Third main reason, this is one of the important reason. This is the reason for which mainly we are studying this subject. Like existing auditing fields, there is going to be a new field which will be coming up in the future. That is called as information systems audit field. The new field which is going to come in the near future is information systems audit field. For now, this is not very popular. It is mandatory. Like tax audit, like a statutory audit, like income tax audit, like a GST audit, like internal audit, there is some audit called as information systems audit. For now, it is not very popular, but I'm saying you 5 years down the line, than statutory audit, information systems audit is going to pick up the pace. So for that reason, We're gonna read about that audit and related contents in this particular subject. And information systems audit is again an arena of a chartered accountant. Chartered accountant is going to be doing the information systems audit. Anything, if the word is there as auditing, we are the sole owners of that particular profession. So information systems audit is also going to be our area. So for that reason, we are reading this subject. The very fourth reason, whether you agree or don't agree, tech is the future. Whether you agree or don't agree, but if you wanna earn money in 2020, there is only one way. People suggest so many ways for you to earn money. You invest in gold and then it'll increase. You invest in shares and then it'll increase. You start your CA practice, then automatically it'll increase. You become a software engineer, then automatically it'll increase. I'm saying you, the only way to become rich in this particular, in this 2020 is to adopt a technology for your business. And only then you'll be able to become rich. Let us see certain examples of people who adopted the technology and how rich they have become. You know these companies, right? The companies which are visible on the screen. You know all these companies. You know Ola, you know Redbus, you know Oyo, you know Byju's, you know Paytm, you know Jio, you know Flipkart. All these companies. You might be knowing all these companies. Definitely you know all these companies. Can you see the valuation of each of those companies? Can you just see the numbers of valuation which are present in those companies? Ola is being valued at $6.2 billion. Man, 6.2 billion, not rupees, 6.2 billion US dollars. Byju's is being valued at $8 billion. Oyo is being valued at $10 billion. Redbus is being valued at $3 billion. Paytm is being valued at $16 billion. Jio is being valued at $65.95 billion. Flipkart is being valued at $19 billion. All these are companies which are established just in the past 10 years. They were able to reach all these valuations. I am saying you, Tata Motors. Tata Motors is one of the richest companies in India, or one of the topmost car manufacturers in India, or second topmost car manufacturers in India. Their valuation is less than $100 billion. Which is almost a 35-year-old company or 50-plus-year-old company. But Flipkart, which is just a 10-year-old company, their valuation is $19 billion. $19 billion is what is the valuation of Flipkart. Man, do you understand what you mean by $19 billion? What is the only thing which is there in similarity between all these companies? All these companies have used technology to make their money. All these companies. Byju's have not come into business. Education business was already, they adopted the technology to it. Redbus has not come into a new business. Transportation business was already there, just they adopted technology. Ola, Paytm was not something like which is very new. Already people were purchasing and paying the money in cash, but now Paytm has given technology back into it. With all these things, they were able to make billions and billions and billions of money. So now you see, the difference is like this. Flipkart, if you take $19 billion valuation, what do you mean by $19 billion? Beside 19, you have to give three zeros, and then dollars. This is what is the valuation of Flipkart. This is what is the money which Flipkart has made after the Walmart's acquisition. When Walmart acquired Flipkart, then this is what is the money which Flipkart has made. $19 billion. Man, to count those zeros itself, it will take 1 minute for us. And to convert it into Indian currency, it will take 5 minutes for us. That is the amount of money which they have made just within a period of 8 years. The only change which they did is they adopted technology into their business. All these companies which you are looking into the screen over here, they have adopted technology, and that is the reason why they came to this particular extent. Let me say you, sir, I'm a chartered accountant, sir. I never wish to start my business. I made up my mind. I don't want to be a businessman. I don't want to be a lecturer. I wanted to be in CA, and I wanted to keep practicing my CA. You have decided that. Even there, technology makes a lot of difference for you. Let me say this example of this company called ClearTax. This is one Indian company in our field. Man, understand one thing. Friends, understand one thing. In the previous slide, whatever I have shown, those are all the companies which are not into our field. They are not touching accounting. They are not touching auditing. They are touching something like transportation industry. Somebody has touched education industry. Somebody has touched flights industry. So in that particular way, mobile industry, telecom industry, and all these things. But I'm saying this company, ClearTax, It has touched our industry. It has embraced technology into our industry. And today, look at their valuation. Their valuation is INR 1000 crores. 1000 crores is the valuation of clear tax. Man, assume a chartered accountant. A chartered accountant who is practicing in Chennai. Let's take a chartered accountant who is practicing in Chennai. Let's assume he is practicing in Nungumbakam. He is practicing in Nungumbakam of Chennai. If he is practicing in Nungumbakam of Chennai, please don't like keep disturbing with so many chat messages. I'm saying you, I'll answer all those chats at the end of the class. I'm taking an example of Nungumbakam class. Nungumbakam, a chartered accountant has started in a street corner of Nungumbakam, a small practice. At max, how many income tax returns he can file? I'm saying you, the best chartered accountant in the country will be able to file 5,000 income tax returns, not more than that. 5,000. The best chartered accountant in the country will be able to file 5,000 income tax returns. Even if you charge 500 rupees for each income tax return, he'll be able to make 25 lakhs. Ignore. I mean, like I'm saying only about income tax, nothing else. Income tax returns. But do you know how many income tax returns did Clear Tax file last year? What they did is they made only one single change. What they said is, through our software, you can automatically file the income tax returns. You need not take help of any chartered accountant. You'll be able to file income tax returns automatically is what they mentioned. And with that, do you know how many income tax returns they were able to file? They were able to file 50 lakh income tax returns out of 4 crores total income tax returns filed in India. Totally in India, entire country filed 4 crore income tax returns. Out of that, 50 lakh income tax returns have been filed by one single company, that is Clear Tax. One single company, that is Clear Tax. I repeat my statement. Today it is anything is possible with the help of technology. If you are still living in the world where thinking that technology is not going to affect me, technology is not something for software engineers, technology is something for hardware engineers, please come out, Nana. Please come out. Technology is for all. Tomorrow I'm saying you, CAs are not going to exist, engineers are not going to exist. Who are going to exist are techie CAs. What do you mean by techie CAs? I named my blog also techieca.blogspot.com for the reason that tomorrow we don't need engineers, software engineers, we don't need chartered accountants, we need people who know both, people who know technology and people who know software, both. That is what is going to be the demand for the future. That is the reason why this subject is a base step or a baby step for you towards that long journey in technology. I'm saying you, after reading this entire 40 hours, I can say you very easily, approximately there are 450 people in this particular class. I would definitely say minimum 40 people, which means 10% of the class. Minimum 40 people will definitely get interested into technology, will definitely start learning, learning some sort of technology. This is my assurance. Definitely there are going to be 40 people. In fact, many of my students are there who are learning Python along with me, and many of my students are there who entered into information systems audit division of Big Fours, because by understanding the scope of this particular subject, by understanding the scope in this industry. I'll also say you what we are doing in this field over a period of time. We still have 40 hours of time, right? Why we are adopting technology, and what change are we bringing into this world because of the technology. I'll explain you over a period of next to 40 to 50 minutes of time. But now let me show you a small video, a funny video of the reason why technology has been introduced. You can say me like so many things. Sir, I'm not going to start my business, I'm not going to start my employment, I'm not going to start my practice as well. I'm just going to be staying in home, or I'm just going to be staying in house doing nothing. I'm going to be a house husband. Housewife is very popular, right? Something like that. I'm going to be a house husband. Even then you need to understand very, very basics of technology. If you don't understand the basics, or if you don't have common sense, let me show you what will happen if you don't have common sense, or if you don't have very basic understanding of technology. long back, one of my friends shared this video. I hope one of my students, I still remember this video. In fact, I shared it on the Facebook as well. Though this video is little exaggerated, I understand this video is exaggerated for sure, but in a way that is also a reality. We are not using technology properly. Technology is a sandalwood, but we are using it like coal. Technology is a sandalwood, but we are using it like coal. Imagine, like, I can give you over a period of time so many examples how we could have adopted technology little ago. I mean, how we could have adopted technology a little few years ago, and how we could have changed ourselves, changed the fate of many Indian companies. Many Indian companies would have like been completely different if they have adopted the technology. See, this is main reason why the subject is very much important. Don't read it with the just attitude of 40-mark subject or 50-mark subject or 60-mark subject. I'm saying you read it with passion. Read it with passion. Understand, like accounts, like auditing. This is also going to be a useful subject for me in future. So with that attitude, if you start learning, definitely you're gonna enjoy reading this subject. So let me get into the exams now. As I said you, this subject is paper 7 of IPCC. This subject is paper 7 of IPCC. And in paper 7, there are two parts to it. One part, that is part A, is EIS. Part B is SM. EIS stands for Enterprise Information Systems, and SM stands for Strategic Management. Part A is for 50 marks in your exams, and then part B is for 50 marks. So Strategic Management is for 50 marks and EIS is for 50 marks. Sir, is there any connection between EIS and SM? Absolutely no. There is no connection between Enterprise Information Systems and SM, but both are definitely required for managing the business. One subject completely talks about technology, and the other subject completely talks about management. I'm not going to take SM for you. I think already some other faculty has already taught you SM, but I'm going to be a faculty for EIS alone for you. EIS is for 50 marks, and in that EIS, today, 35 marks of the paper is going to be theoretical, and 15 marks of the paper is going to be MCQ based one. 35 marks of the paper is going to be theoretical, and 15 marks of the paper is going to be MCQ. Even SM also same thing. 35 marks and 15 marks. You can ask me one question. Sir, I decided I will read only EIS, sir. I'll read only EIS. Out of 50 marks, I'll secure 40 marks. Will I be able to pass the exam? Yes. There is no both the subjects are not being separately being evaluated. They are being evaluated together. Put together both, if you get 40, yes, you are passing the exam. You will get 60, you are getting the exemption. Put together, if you get 80, you'll be having a rank with you. Definitely, if you score 80 marks in the subject, you'll be having a rank with you. And that is what is the target with which we are proceeding in the entire 40 hours lecture. I mean, you always assume that I'm gonna secure 40 marks in this subject. Out of 50, I'm gonna secure 40. So if I need to get 40, then only you will start thinking on the approach of how will I get 40. See, if you decide yourself, let me get 20 in EIS, let me get 20 in SM, and let me pass now, you will get 2 in EIS, you will get 2 in SM, and you'll get out, you'll get out of your exam center with 4 marks. I'm saying you that is going to be the CA exams. That's the reason, target for 40 plus 40, 80 marks, and it is possible. Let me say you the highest mark in the subject. The highest mark in the subject is 98. 98 is the highest mark in the subject so far. Somewhere in 2017, a girl has secured 98 marks. But in my students, out of my students, the highest marks is 82. So far, highest marks is 82. Out of my students, highest marks is 82. But 75 to 82, there are so many people. 75 to 82, there are so many people. In the old syllabus, I mean, after the new syllabus, 82 is the highest mark. EIS had old syllabus four attempts ago. Then at that point of time, a guy called Rahul from Bangalore, one of my students, he secured 86 marks. So even today, you can beat this for sure easily. I mean, 500 people attending this class have ample amount of opportunity to beat these marks for sure, and target for 80 plus for sure. In this subject, I'm saying you, in this subject, if you're gonna secure 80 plus, nobody, even God cannot stop you from passing the IPCC exams. God cannot stop you from passing the IPCC exams. Please remember that particular point, and then let us start proceeding further. My dear friends, this subject is divided. EIS is divided into 5 chapters. I'm not talking anything about SM. I'm talking completely about EIS. EIS is divided into 5 chapters. 5 chapters are there in EIS. Each chapter is almost of equivalent weightage. You cannot ask me, sir, which chapter is most important, which chapter is less important. The reason being, in accounts and all, that such a kind of weightage can be identified to some extent or to a very great extent. But in EIS, it is not going to be the case. Our 50 marks paper will actually be for 60 marks because 10 marks of choice will be there. 10 marks of choice questions will be there. Out of this 60 marks, I am pretty confident 12 marks from each chapter will come. I mean, it will be divided. I mean, it will be apportionated in such a way that 12 marks will be there for each chapter. Each chapter will have 12 marks to it. So nothing more, nothing less. Usually it will fluctuate between 10 and 14, not more than that. Minimum, very minimum, 10 marks will definitely be there from each chapter. Maximum 14 marks will be there from a chapter. So that is how this particular subject is present. You can see the weightage over a period of 4 attempts. See, why have you not taken 10 attempts, sir? Why have you taken only 4 attempts? The reason why I'm taking 4 attempts is this subject has been introduced only in May 18. Previous to that, subject was titled as IT, Information Technology. But in May 2018, for May 2018 attempt, they have made significant changes in the subject. They have made significant changes. They almost removed the old IT and they replaced it with completely new syllabus, which has been copy pasted from final, and the subject is introduced. So that is the reason why we have weightage only for the past 4 attempts. The highest number of marks in a particular chapter are 16 and 18, but it's a very rare case. It's a very rare case. Once it has happened for 3rd chapter and once it has happened for 4th chapter, but it is a very rare case. Usually, most of the times, 10 to 14 will be the range. 10 to 14 will be the range. You can ask me for the last attempts, sir. From May 19 to November 2019, actually they have introduced MCQs as well. During that time, weightage for each chapter has little reduced. Maximum marks, I mean weightage for each chapter theoretically will be 8 to 10 marks, and MCQ based weightage will be 3 marks for each chapter. MCQ based weightage will be 3 marks for each chapter. I'll explain you how the question paper will look and what are all the different types of different categories of questions which will come in the examination. All these things we will look into it over a period of time. So I have one request for you. This subject should not be prepared like any other subject. I mean, the approach which you follow for any other subject will not work for this subject. Already I know you might have heard feedback from many of your friends. EIS is the most difficult subject. I wrote 6 attempts in IPCC because of EIS. I wrote 10 attempts in IPCC because of EIS. I wrote 15 attempts in IPCC because of EIS. Man, that is not going to work out. I'm saying you that is not going to work out. If you read this subject like FR, if you read this particular subject like auditing, it is not going to work out. This subject needs a different approach while preparation. If you sit from the morning and if you start reading till the end of the day, this subject is not going to help you. I mean, this is not the right way. That is not the right way to learn this subject. This subject should be learned in a completely different manner. So, that is this statement. When you don't change the way, how can you expect a different destination? For the people who are repeating this subject again and again, like Muhammad Ghazi, they are attacking again and again. That doesn't work out, man. If you have approached through a particular way, if it doesn't work, then you have to immediately change the approach. Now I am going to propose 4 ideas for you. 4-point agenda for 40 marks. Please stay with me. I'm saying you confidently follow along with me. You will be able to secure 40 marks if you are following along with me for this next 40 hours in this manner. Watch every day 1 hour of lecture, but we have actually 2 hours of lecture. But anyway, recorded class will also be available for you, right? But I'm saying you watch 1 hour every day, or even if you watch 2 hours, nothing wrong. You prepare for the 2 hours as well. So when you watch 1 hour lecture, spend 1 hour for preparation for sure. 1 hour lecture, 1 hour preparation. Next 1 hour lecture, 1 hour preparation. But if you, for example, for now currently, there are 2 hours of lectures, right? During that time, you have to spend 2 hours for preparation. Or if you're planning to prepare later, during that time as well, follow this approach. Studying for 10 hours in a day, 12 hours in a day is not going to help for this exam. For sure, you're going to fail in this exam if you are reading for 12 hours, 13 hours. You have to read a maximum of 2 hours in a day, not more than that. So watch 1 hour lecture, 1 hour preparation, or 2 hours of lecture, 2 hours of preparation, and write an MCQ based test. After this particular preparation, after watching the lecture and after this, after watching the lecture for 1 hour and after the preparation for 1 hour, you will have an MCQ based test. I will provide you the link for the test as well. I'll provide you, it will be available in this blog, techieca.blogspot.com. It will be available in this blog. You can go there and you can write one MCQ based question. Don't go now itself. After this class, you can watch it. You have to write one MCQ based test. And after that, at the end of each chapter, answer the previous examination questions. Keep your notebook and answer the previous examination questions. Take the previous examination questions. After preparing, please write down those questions. These are the 4 tips I am giving it to you. Watch 1 or 2 hours of class, study for 1 or 2 hours, write an MCQ based test, and then answer your previous examination questions. Otherwise, if you don't follow this approach, if you just follow just like that in the flow, then at that point of time, it is not going to help you. 8 hours, 10 hours of class is not going to help you. Just listening to the class, not going to help you. Just preparing the material, not going to help you. Combine all these things. Let us all keep a common vision. Whoever has decided to pass this IPCC in first attempt, whoever has decided to pass this second group in first attempt, so please decide yourself. I decided for myself to go with this approach. You guys should also decide for yourself that we are going with this approach. We're gonna divide a day-wise lecture or hour-wise lecture, and accordingly we're gonna start our preparation. Even when you are reading for 2 hours, read for 1 hour, give a break of 30 minutes minimum, and then start the next hour preparation. See, in the classroom we may not be able to give the break, but I'm saying you, when you are starting preparing through the reading material and all, you read for 1 hour, give half an hour break minimum, and then start reading the next 1 hour. Otherwise, in the third hour, you will be sleeping. If you start continuing in the third hour, you will be sleeping for sure. So that is the reason why I'm saying you follow this particular approach. Man, I hope I was very clear till now. I have introduced myself. I am Sriharsha, and I have introduced the subject. This is EIS for 50 marks, and I told you why this subject is important, and I told you how you should approach for this subject. Please keep a book and pen with you. Always when you are attending this class, please keep a book and pen with you. Keep scribbling something, keep writing something, whatever is appearing on the screen, keep writing something. At the end of this particular class, go to the blog. For now you will go to the blog. After that you will get the material, but for now you will go to the blog, download that material and start reading it. So let me start with the main subject now.